Hello fellow makers and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be making a stab. For this I've dug through the scrap bin and found this piece of brass. It's 32mm across the flats, about 66mm long. The only problem is it's got a hole in one end and a dimple in the other, so let's try and fix that first. First thing to do is square up the ends and then put a bit of a lead in on the hole. I've got a piece of steel that I'm going to turn down and try and plug the hole with. The first thing to do is turn it down to the right size. The hole is 12.7mm, so I need to sneak up on that and get it as close as I can. I'm aiming for an interference fit. With the plug made to size, it's now over to the fly press where we'll heat up the brass and press the plug into place. Onto the pantograph. I've 3D printed a template to follow. I have the pantograph set up to a ratio of 2:1, so the template and the stylus are both twice the size as the cutter. And then it's just a case of tracing out the shape, stepping down to the required depth and stopping and lifting every time I need to jump in between sections. On this job, the order of operations is really important, as it's going to be a weird shape and trying to hold on to it later on will be a challenge, but the way I'm going about it should work okay. The brass cuts really easily. I like working with it. With the top face engraved, it's back to the lathe again to do some shaping. And with that, the shaping begins. I start on the large radius at the end. I want to get this close because I don't want too much of the material sticking out the jaw of the chuck to reduce the clamping force required. I'm freehanding the shape completely by eye. Just as it's completely aesthetic, it doesn't really matter any dimensions on it at all. I did do a couple of 2D sketches beforehand to get a rough idea of the final form that I would like. I'm a bit out of practice of Etch-a-Sketch, so the curves aren't perfect, but I should be able to clean it up with a half-round file in a minute. As it's brass, it's quite easy to remove quite a bit of material just with the hand file without too much effort. And with that, it's back to the pantograph. I engraved 4 sides of the stamp with my logo. The top and bottom I'm going to do a bit different to help identify the orientation. I'm still learning to use the pantograph and my positioning is a little bit off, but hopefully it will do. As some of the features are really quite small, I had a little problem with some of them breaking off on the 3D printed template. Hopefully it won't be too noticeable. This is what it looks like without any polishing. After a quick polish, I fill the side engravings with some black enamel paint and rub off the excess. I want to do a quick test to see if I haven't wasted half a day. And yes, it works. It's a bit big and takes some positioning correctly, but it works. On to the post-mortem. So overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. There are a couple of things that could be improved. I should have used some packing material on the jaws of the lathe to start marking the sides. Also, I think I'm suffering from some galvanic corrosion between the steel and the brass. Even though I polish it up, it always comes back with this murky brown black line all the way around. Some of the engravings are a little wonky, but I think it just adds to the charm. Overall, I'm really happy with it, and now I'm off to write my important correspondence.